ready.
Man, that is going to be a slobber knocker of a game right there.
In all my time, I don't remember if somebody scored 4.
Yeah, it's funny. I use a word, jetapult. It's actually a word. People don't realize it.
Good try. No soup for you.
And Trey, go get you some wax beans and
soup for the deli, I know.
yeah, go get you some wax beans and have a good day, man. First downs for Central Clay for 1, 2, 3, 4 quarters. Roll call with a spidget.
Roll call, a spidget.
Spidget.
What kind of?
That's me and David Bush, baby.
Y'all went on the Motley Crue cruise, didn't you?
Oh man, that Motley Crue to dirt, baby.
Well, welcome home. Oh, it's on Netflix, right?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Is that the movie? Is that the movie you're telling everybody to see right now?
Oh yeah, just don't let your kids.
Don't let your kids. It's not a good Christian movie.
No.
Rated G.
No, it's not rated G, Bill.
Well, welcome home, man.
Yeah, man. Glad to be back.
Good to be back, and
welcome me and Dave, man. Look at those ripples, man. Look at those ripples on that stuff.
Look at there, man.
That's me and Dave.
Where's that at now?
That's in Progreso, Mexico. That's in
Progreso, Mexico.
Yeah, that's the mainland, man. That's
Is that one they drop you off at an island?
No, that's Cozumel. Cozumel's the island, but then the next day you sail up to Progreso, and it's depresso. I mean, it's real depressing. I mean,
Progresso is depresso?
Yeah, depresso. But no, we had a good time, man.
I bet.
Hey,
man,
but
did you win some money in the casino?
I won about $20, man.
$20?
5 reds in a row.
And you only got 20 out of it?
I left for 20. Hey,
that won't even buy you a soda.
Oh,
on
a cruise it won't. Oh, but I got to tell you this. The best thing about this whole cruise deal, I encourage anybody to take the cruise out of New Orleans.
Yeah,
and the reason
we always go out of Port Canaveral.
Yeah, the reason for because New Orleans, and you can look at it on the map.
Yeah.
It takes almost 4.5 hours to cruise down the Mississippi River until you get into the Gulf, the Delta. You know?
Yeah.
And it was like
that was neat. I bet
it was. I just put my hat on, my straw hat, had a Bahia twig, and just pretended like I was Huckleberry Finn, man. I mean, because it is Mark Twain. It was just so beautiful, but that to me was probably the best part.
So the New Orleans port is upriver.
Way upriver.
Wow,
if you look at the map,
you
know, before I went, I thought, oh man, I won't see the Mississippi maybe an hour. But no. It winds and winds and winds, but going to the Delta, and it was nighttime at that time, but
it wasn't when you left.
But it was just beautiful. I mean,
coming out of the Mississippi.
Coming out of the Mississippi, and that Mississippi is big.
Yes, sir. Ain't no doubt about it. So you go over Lake Pontchartrain, and then you turn right and go up?
Well, no, you go over Lake Pontchartrain to get downtown New Orleans.
Right.
And the port is downtown New Orleans, right by Chapatula Street.
Gotcha.
And you get on the boat, and then the boat just does a big U-turn.
Yeah.
It just does that, and then it just goes.
I got you.
Just goes. But yeah, we had a good time. Blake and Holly, they enjoyed it.
Yeah, never sailed out of New Orleans, but you say it's closer than definitely closer than
Port Canaveral. It may be a little farther. I mean, it's probably closer to the cruise out of Jacksonville, Florida.
Right.
And Holly and I, we've not done that yet. But New Orleans is, if you love history and you love, just the Mississippi River and what all it entails, about Hernando de Soto and so much history there.
Yeah.
God, it was just perfect, man.
Good. And y'all had a balcony?
Oh, yeah. You have to be on the balcony. You don't want a room inside. You want a balcony.
Go ahead and spend the money.
Spend the money, get on the balcony, kick your feet up, man. Get you some sweet tea and just cruise.
That's right.
Just cruise. We had a good time,
man. Tell me about the Mexican cities, man. You went to Cozumel?
Cozumel and Progreso, and that's it.
Just 2 ports?
Yeah. Cozumel, it was real touristy.
Yeah.
And it's not on mainland Mexico, so you don't see a lot of the poor stuff there. But when you go to Progreso.
Was it warm down there?
Yeah.
The water was warm?
Yeah, the water's warm. I mean, heck, it's close to the equator.
Okay.
I tried to look for the Southern Cross last night. I couldn't find it. Even with my little app thing. But anyway, good time. Glad to be back.
Yeah, welcome back. Old Man Winter's here in
Florida.
My
goodness.
They said it may be a frost tonight.
Oh, I better bring my Jack Maples in.
You might better, no joke. Before we go any further, let's pay the bills.
Let's pay the bills.
Or let's tell everybody who's paying the bills.
Yeah, let's do that.
One or the other.
Better.
The Old Barn Restaurant in Goshen. Go see them. Turner Mowing, Blake Turner. Hey, the grass is starting to grow. Call Blake, 465-0600. The Alabama Real Estate Connection, across the street from Burger King, behind the helicopter. The Charles Henderson Athletic Foundation, Southern Animal Hospital and Pet Resort, Dr. Steve Barron. The Crease Agency, out by the railroad tracks on 231. The Yanni with the Pig Cafe. They'll get you one. You don't want no whippy biscuit.
No, you want
You go get a real biscuit from Yanni. Deep South Apparel, Pete Van Horn in Montgomery, all your screen printing needs. Severa, Ralph Baker, Hastings, and Reeves, attorneys at law. Crows of Brundage. I'm going to Crows this week.
All right.
Hadn't had it in a while. I need some Crows this week. All-Star Collision, Jones Medical Supply, Health Actions out by Zaxby's over there in front of Hook's Barbecue. Southern Roots Restaurant, all-you-can-eat buffet. Serve cafeteria style, but you can get all you want. Open on Thursday and Friday nights as well. Southern Roots, go see them. If you like Julia's and you like Sisters, you're going to love Southern Roots.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you, it's some good food. Marco's Pizza, Troy Eye Care, Preston's Steakhouse, Stone Cold Heating and Cooling. Call Matt Johnson. Time to get that air conditioner checked right now before the weather just starts getting hot, and you start depending on that air conditioner. Get it checked now. Pike County Ford, Mama Goldberg's on the square. Road Mart out on 231. Go see Jason Floyd and his crew. They fix anything under the hood. They also save some tires. Go see them. Mama Goldberg's on the square. Troy Bank and Trust, the only bank you'll ever need. Glow Boutique on the square. And it was a sad week for Troy, Alabama, with the Sanders family, with Mr. Wally passing, and Julie and Tony and them. Our hearts go out to them. And it's just, Wiley has been instrumental in Troy, Alabama.
He sure
Think
has.
about all the people he's employed through the years.
Oh, yeah.
It's
And
just
help.
incredible.
And never you knew about it, you know.
Always helping and wanted to be anonymous.
Anonymous.
Yep.
Exactly.
Birds Drugs on the square and Falk Furniture and Enterprise. Thank you to our sponsors, and we couldn't sit up here and do this show without you.
Exactly.
And we really appreciate you. Wally, I saw something. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to tell you one more thing about the duty-free shopping.
Okay.
It's all duty-free, and
That means no tax.
Yeah, until you get to the customs agent.
What do you mean?
They
You didn't have to pay tax in Cozumel or on the boat until when?
until you see the custom agent.
Then they want it.
Yeah, and then they want it. You have to declare it. And don't buy fake Cuban cigars like I did.
You bought fake Cuban cigars?
That's what Michael Gregory told me.
Somebody said, "Hey, Cubans,"
Yeah.
and you fell for it.
Yeah, fell for it.
You wanted to smoke one on that balcony, didn't you? That's what it was.
Yeah. Okay. Enough of that. What you got? What was this thing you saw on Facebook?
Look, man, I saw this funny thing on Facebook. I said we have got to show that on our show. I thought, because this could be my street. The teenagers on my street go check. Look at this. It's hilarious. I just had to show that on the show. I'm sorry.
Is that probably what the officer put down on the ticket?
Yeah. I scored 58. I just love that.
That's good.
I thought that was great. Oh, thanks for putting that up, David. I appreciate that, man. Oh, back to some sports.
Yeah, sport.
Please tell me you watched a little bit of the match play from the PGA this weekend. You know, Tiger made it to the weekend.
Yeah, I saw that.
He got put out.
Yeah.
Did you see Sergio Garcia's little putt?
Well, you were trying to explain to me this thing about,
Let me tell you.
like when you and I play golf and you say it's good.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Well, anyway, in match play, your playing partner, your competition has to say that's good. Then you don't have to put it. Sergio had a little putt that, of course, was good. It was just a 3-inch putt. It was good. It was going to be good. But the rules say that your competitor has to give it to you. He's got to give it to you. Well, Matt Kuchar was who Sergio was playing, and not on purpose, but he just had not gave him the putt yet. And old Sergio, mad that he didn't make the birdie putt, raked it away with his putter. And the scorer said, "Mr. Kuchar had not given you that putt yet." And they said, "What do you mean? It was 2 inches." No, he didn't give it to you. Rules say your playing partner has to give it to you. And Kuchar even said, "Oh, I was going to give it to him. I was going to give it to him. I was about to give it to him." And instead of halving the hole, half to Kuchar and half to Sergio, Sergio lost the hole. Well, I'm going to tell you what, the match was over with after that, because he was so mad and so hot and just boiling under the collar. But it was fun. Couldn't happen to a better person. I'm not a Sergio Garcia fan.
Why is it when you and I play and my putt's about this far and I say, is it good? And you say no?
No. Because
I can make
there's a
them.
reason you're trying to putt left-handed nowadays.
Oh, I know. And it's working good, man.
The man's trying to putt left-handed.
Well, hey, you got to tell.
All right, come on.
We're going to have everything set up next week.
Oh, the wrestling.
The wrestling. Listen.
Come on with it.
Let me go ahead and tell everybody. May 11th is at the Houston County Farm Center.
thought you told me it was
It's
a
at the
Peanut
Peanut
Festival.
Festival.
I think so.
Why I keep on saying
I
Houston
don't know,
County?
because that's where the old school
Old
wrestling
school.
used to be.
Okay, the supervisor. All right. It is going to be at the Peanut Festival, building number 3, which is air conditioned and all that. We are still working out some details. We know right now we're going to have an hour live session there on that Saturday. We don't know if it's going to be in the afternoon or it'll be in the evening. But we'll still have our show Sunday, but we're trying to get a caravan of folks to come down there. It's going to be real neat. We got some big-time wrestlers that Neal and I will be interviewing.
Old school.
Old school.
Big name.
Bob Armstrong, Tennessee Stud, Jake Snake, Midnight Express, Jerry Lawler. A lot of folks are coming. And it's a big event.
And I'm not a huge wrestling fan, but when it comes to legends of Houston County and
Oh, yeah.
look, I'm in. I'm all in.
All
this is going to
in.
be great.
And it's going to be fun. And I'm still working out the details with Mr. Dennis Gale, which puts this event on. So hopefully next week we'll have everything in writing and we'll know times and all that stuff. But we're going to have a great time with it, buddy.
Yep.
Great time.
And you can't wait, man. It's going to be neat.
Oh, we're going to have a good time, man.
Is the
Supervisor may show up.
what I want to know is the supervisor going to show up?
I don't know.
That's what Bulldog Johnny wants to know.
Is the
Is
supervisor.
the supervisor going to? Because he's already challenged.
Yeah, I know, man.
He's already
But
challenged.
I have to go talk to the supervisor and see if
Yeah. Now, he thought it was you.
he did. Well,
He thought the supervisor was you.
no, it ain't
So,
me. But-
anyway.
all right.
Hey, I want to mention a special promotion that's happening at Preston's Steakhouse Tuesday night. And here in Troy, they're having a Low Country Bowl. And they had this a month ago, and it was a huge
Man,
success.
does that not look good?
Back by popular demand. Robbie Richburg down at Preston's. It's going to be shrimp or crawfish, your choice, with corn, sausage, and potatoes. Half a pound, $9.99. Pound, $17.99 for a pound. Or you can just get a pound of crawfish for $6.99. Starts at 4 o'clock. Huge hit a month ago, so they're doing it again. This is Tuesday. Starts at 4 o'clock at Preston's, and I'll be there.
You'll be there.
Yes,
I
sir.
bet you will be there.
Yes, sir. And also, Wally, while you were on the cruise, not a lot going on, but Troy and Alabama both named their new head coach in basketball. Troy names Scott Cross, not to be mixed up with Scott Frost, the Nebraska football coach, but Scott Cross, the new men's basketball coach for Troy University. He comes to us from TCU, Texas Christian, where he was the assistant basketball coach there last year or this year. They had a great season, and but he was the longtime head coach at UT Arlington. Was very successful as a head coach at UT Arlington. So I haven't met him yet. I've seen his picture, saw some of his Facebook interview. He seems like a nice guy. I think he's going to do great things at Troy. I really think the guy can coach basketball, maybe get Troy on the winning ways. And also, Alabama named Nate Oates their head basketball coach. And where did he come from? Drum roll.
Buffalo.
Buffalo. Now, I'm going to tell you, Wally, Alabama didn't make a big splash. And you know, Alabama is supposed to be on top of every sport and this and that and the other. And they go and they hire Buffalo's head basketball coach. And some people just got out on social media and just bashed the Alabama athletic director for hiring Nate Oates from Buffalo because it wasn't a big name. Nobody saw it coming. Nobody knew that he was scouting the Buffalo basketball coach and this and that and the other. Let me tell you something. That guy has done incredible things at Buffalo. The man can coach basketball. It don't matter if he comes from Timbuktu. The man can coach basketball. Look, Dabo Sweeney was selling insurance, folks. Dabo Sweeney was selling insurance in Birmingham. The man can coach football. This guy from Buffalo can coach basketball. Don't get out there bashing the athletic department at the University of Alabama over Nate Oates because you watch him. He's going to coach. He's going to be all right. He's going to be all
I
right.
think so.
And also, we're up against our first break. David's telling us to take our first break. We got a little bit of college basketball we want to discuss. Just a little bit.
Just a little
bit of college.
Is this why my Mr. Potato Head is just
we
being
got just a
drowned
little
out?
bit of college basketball to get to right here. We'll be right back.
Hey, Blake may call in.
Let him come on
He
with
may
it.
call in.
Mr. Kentucky Blake Lowry. We'll be right back after this first set of commercials.
Hey, Neal, man, what are you doing up here at Health Actions on the traction machine?
Oh, man.
Man, it says it's stretching you.
Hey, well, I'm trying to get about 2 inches more taller, Neal.
Man, this is not to get taller. This is for people with back pain. They try to decompress the spine. It helps your back pain, your lower back pain. It's an incredible piece of machinery up here at Health Actions, and you're in here trying to use it to get taller? Are you serious? Are you kidding? Oh, the bell's for that means it hurts. Turn it off. Turn it off. What are you doing in the surgery room at Southern Animal Hospital from that resort?
I'm about to circumcise this dog.
Man, don't circumcise that dog. Let Dr. Steve Barron help you with the spaying and neuter process. Give him a call. Southern Animal Pet Hospital Resort, 770-1838. You got to be a medical professional and board certified to perform these kind of dog procedures on surgery. Give him a call. Southern Animal Pet Hospital Resort. Man, what's that noise? What are you doing with that air conditioner heating unit?
Neal, my air conditioner went out last night, and I'll tell you what, I watch YouTube, and I know how to do all this stuff now.
Look, Wally, this could be really dangerous, man. You need to call Matt Johnson with Stone Cold Heating and Cooling, 268-0917. Licensed, insured, and bonded. You need to call Matt Johnson, Wally.
Hey, Neal, what does this red thing do?
Don't pull on the red wire. That could be dangerous, man. What'd you do? Don't pull on that red wire. Good gravy. Now you've done it. Call Matt Johnson with Stone Cold Heating and Cooling. Hey.
Mr. Neal, is this the crazy guy that does the sports show with you?
Yes, it is. Wally, what are you doing up here at Globe? How long has he been up here?
He's been up here for like an hour, and he hasn't moved, and he's scaring off the customers.
Wally, I know you said you were going to Globe to get Holly a birthday present, but you're taking this a little bit to extremes, don't you think? Acting like a mannequin? We're going to have to call the law. Come to Globe for all your needs up on the square. Globe Boutique.
Hey, Neal, how are you today?
I'm good. I want some of these chicken nuggets. Well, I want them down here at Crows and Brundage. Wally, what are you doing in the kitchen at Crows and Brundage?
Oh, man, I'm trying to steal the secret sauce recipe.
Man, they're not going to give you the secret sauce recipe. Put that sauce back. Patsy, now he's got the sauce. Unbelievable. Come see them at Crows and Brundage. Hey, they got fried okra, catfish on Friday nights, wings, honey barbecue wings, any kind of wings, and the best chicken nuggets in the world. Come see them. Crows and Brundage.
Auburn. Isn't there an
Good picture of Bruce.
environmental thing about rolling trees?
No, there's an environmental law against killing trees,
Well,
like Mr. Updike.
yeah, but hey, I was going to tell you before we get on basketball.
right.
You know, we got Troy Fest coming up in
Yeah,
April,
yeah.
and I do a lot of Toomer's Corner trees.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have to do one with basketball on.
You got to, man. You
Yeah,
got
I'll
to.
do that.
And somebody will want that.
Oh, yeah.
You gonna
I
have to
always
do
sell
that.
those Toomer Corner trees.
Let's talk about the NCAA tournament. March Madness, man. I just love this. I said it last week. I just love this time of the year, man. How about them Auburn Tigers? Final Four. First time in program history. First time in school history. The Auburn basketball team is in the Final Four.
I'll
Final
take this
Four.
from
Brantley-
Brantley Simcoe.
Tell everybody what Brantley Simcoe. Now he's a huge Auburn
He's
fan, Auburn graduate.
It said, Eddie, I would be more surprised if my head was sawed toward the carpet.
Which is a quote from Clark.
Oh, my goodness, man. Brantley, I don't know if you watch this, man, but that was classic. I had to
Yeah.
steal it and put it on Facebook.
I wouldn't be more shocked if I woke up and my head was
It's
sawn
sawn
to
through
the
the
carpet.
carpet.
Yeah. Movie quote. But, hey, man, Auburn, look, they almost, in the early rounds, let New Mexico State still won from them when they didn't play with their best confidence. And then they blew out Kansas. They blew out North Carolina. And they make it all the way to the Elite Eight. Then after losing to Kentucky twice this year in regular season SEC play, they beat Kentucky today in overtime, 77-71. I'm gonna tell you what, Calipari, he had a good game plan. He actually ran Auburn off the three-point line in the first half. I mean, they had 4 defenders outside the three-point line in the first half. But I'm gonna tell you, man, Auburn was not to be denied today. Sports Chat with Neal and Wally. What you got on your mind tonight?
It's Blake.
Oh, that's just who I wanted to hear from, Mr. Kentucky Wildcat himself, Blake Lowry. Tell us your thoughts on that game, Blake. I know it's heartbreaking for you.
We couldn't play defense. That guy with the headbands kept shooting threes the entire time.
He did.
He kept on saying the whole game. I was in the living room watching it with him. Get
Yeah.
the guy with the headband on.
They wasn't covering him, Blake.
Yeah.
That's all right. Hey, now you can root for Auburn. Since Kentucky's out of it, Blake. Come on, man. You got to root for Auburn now that Kentucky's out of it.
Yeah.
No?
Texas Tech's gonna beat them.
They're not playing Texas Tech.
Texas Tech.
I know, but I know Auburn's gonna beat Virginia.
You think so?
You talking about Michigan State?
No, Auburn's got to play Virginia. He's right.
Okay.
I think Texas Tech's going to the championship.
By the way, Michigan State has upset Duke. So the final 4 is Michigan State, Auburn, Texas Tech, and Virginia.
Hey, Blake, tell Mr. Neal what you were wearing watching the game.
A bag as Kentucky, a hoodie Kentucky, and a sock that's Kentucky.
Well, you had on some Kentucky attire then, huh?
Yeah.
Blake, man, thanks for calling, man. Please root for my Auburn Tigers now that Kentucky's out. Come on, man.
Maybe.
All right, that's better. I'll take it.
All right,
I'll take a maybe. We'll talk to you later, Blake. Thanks for calling, bud. Bye.
He was heartbroken.
I know he was. Bless his heart.
Unbelievable.
Bless his heart. Anyway, what we were saying was Calipari ran Auburn off the three-point line in the first half, but Auburn changed it up. They started cutting and slicing to the basket and running a little post-up play because that was what was open. And that got Kentucky running all over the court and did open up the three-pointers in the second half. And Auburn, Wally, man, even without their best player, Chuma Okeke, who tore his ACL the other night versus North Carolina, bless his heart, he's scheduled for ACL surgery. And Tuesday, he's supposed to have ACL surgery. After Auburn was behind at halftime,
They brought him out there.
he told his handlers and his mom and dad and everybody, he said, get me inside that arena. And they wheeled him in there with that humongous knee brace on so he could see the second half, and Auburn pulled it out. Now, I don't know if that had anything to do with Auburn turning the corner at halftime and coming out winning the game, but it didn't hurt that their best player, Chuma Okeke, was wheeled in a wheelchair at halftime. It had to pump him up and give him some adrenaline, don't you think?
Oh, exactly.
Golly.
And Neal, let me ask you this, bud. You know, you and I are real close friends, and we joke with each other stuff, but when it all comes down to the end here, what I'm about to ask you.
All right.
I mean, after all the trees have been rolled and all your fair weather Auburn fans stop chatting on Facebook, can Auburn keep Bruce Pearl?
Well, let me tell you, Pearl's getting it done at Auburn. We're all witnessing that. He's recruiting. He's winning. It's hype. People are talking about Auburn basketball. Doug Branson said last week, Auburn is a basketball school now. But let me tell you something. You remember when Coach Blakeney had won 5 conference championships in a row at Troy? And the big boy schools were not knocking down the door on Coach Larry Blakeney. You remember that?
I remember that.
Coach Blakeney was a great football coach, and he deserved a shot at the big time. But bless his heart, he came with a cloud. He got messed up at Auburn, keep it under the table, cuz.
Yeah.
And he coached the rest of his career with a cloud. Well, Bruce Pearl got on probation out of Tennessee, and even had to sit out of coaching through a probation period. And Auburn rolled the dice on Bruce Pearl, and it's come out smelling like roses so far. You know they're watching him with a fine comb. Look what happened to Mr. Person, who may go to prison. So the NCAA is watching Auburn closely. So let's hope Bruce can keep winning cleanly and that he's not doing any cheating. But I said all that to say this. You said, can Auburn keep Bruce Pearl? I think Bruce has got a little cloud over him, kind of like Coach Larry Blakeney did at Troy. I don't think there's going to be schools knocking down the door to tear Bruce Pearl away from Auburn because of that cloud. Auburn really rolled the dice by hiring Bruce Pearl.
But
I just don't think that Villanova's, the Kentuckys, the Louisvilles, the North Carolinas, the Dukes, the Kansases, we're talking the Blue Bloods, are going to come after Bruce Pearl. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah,
now, he may leave the day after the Final Four. I don't know, but that's my personal opinion, is that as good as Bruce Pearl's doing at Auburn, he's got a little cloud. And I just don't think he's leaving. I don't think he's going anywhere.
Well, you mentioned the cloud, but, I think ethics now with your big schools, it's not like when Blakeney had the cloud back then. That was late 80s, early 90s.
Yep.
I think schools now take more risk, even though it might be an ethical issue.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the guy that was at Kentucky.
Petrino.
Yeah. I'm just to name you. That's just one.
I know.
But I'll give. I'm not an Auburn fan, but
I just don't think he's leaving
Auburn
because of the
credit.
Yeah.
They went after a good coach and they got him, and now Alabama's just got to look on the back row. I mean,
right now they got a new coach.
Yeah,
that couldn't get it done.
Think of the recruiting that's going on right now.
Yeah. People are transferring out of Alabama, and the big players are wanting to go.
If you and I are a big 5-star basketball stud, and we just watched that Auburn game,
Final Four,
dude,
I know.
Hey,
I know.
I'm not going to Alabama. If Bruce Pearl could come knocking at my door.
It's recruiting's huge. You're right. You're exactly right. All these wins and this, I don't want to say Cinderella story because they were a 5.
Yeah.
They were a 5
Yeah,
seed.
they're not a Cinderella.
But recruiting is huge. They'll play number 1 seed Virginia in Minneapolis for the Final Four, which would be something special for the Auburn fans.
Hey, I want to tell the viewing audience right now, Virginia is a 5.5-point favorite.
How's Lowry Locks looking?
1-1 right now.
1-1.
Yeah, 1-1. But I'm gonna tell you, I'll go ahead and put money in the bank here. Auburn upsets Virginia.
Think so?
I really believe it. I really do.
Guys,
but people are telling me to go.
Lowry's calling it right here.
Now people.
So Auburn will play for the national championship in basketball.
I followed Virginia pretty close.
Yeah.
And you said this, and this stuck in my head since the start of the SEC.
Yep.
You said, Wally, if Auburn stays on their 3 games,
if they making threes,
they can't be beat. And buddy, they are just
they're hot. They're hot.
So,
you're exactly right.
Virginia can't stop the 3.
You're right.
You're right. That's just me.
We'll take our second break of the night. We still got more March Madness to talk about. There were some other teams that played, and we want to cover those. So we'll be right back. Hang with us.
Roughing the kicker. Roughing the kicker. What kind of call is that? You can't see nothing. You can't throw a football flag in a basketball game. Yeah, I can. You need to go get your eyes checked, like for real check. Where at? Troy Eye Care, 566-7172. Troy Eye Care on Highway 87. Don't be calling basketball unless you get your eyes checked.
Well, hey there, Mr. Wally. How you doing?
Doing well.
Good. How'd you get in here?
I better not tell you.
Uh-oh.
They don't even open till 4. Well, I'm waiting to hear Mr. Lenny Traver play, and I'm going to give you one of these bad boy steaks that they won an award for. Best steak in the state. Also, best catfish awards a couple years in a row. Hey, my personal favorite is the fried shrimp and the cheese grits. Also, not mentioning the cheese biscuits that come out before the meal. You're going to love that. I know. And a little live music, like you said, Mr. Lenny Traver, you can't beat it down at the old barn in Goshen, Alabama. Come see them.
Come see us.
Man, what in the world? You just dang T-bone me right here. What in the heck? Playing with fidget spinner? What? Did you have a wreck?
Mr. Wally?
Man, this girl right here is playing with this fidget spinner, texting on the phone and T-bone me right here in the parking lot. I was about to go pay my speeding ticket.
Right here at the police station?
Yeah.
Well, luckily at the police station, we can just call All-Star Collision 808-8822. Are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm sorry. Can I have the fidget spinner back?
Yeah, you can have
Please,
it.
Mr. Wally.
All she's worried about is a fidget spinner. Call All-Star Collision for all your accidents. 808-8822.
You gained donuts?
Yeah. Oh, Wally, what are you doing back here?
Oh, man, that thing's hot now. You can tell. They serve hot, steamed sub sandwiches here at Mama Goldberg's in Troy, Alabama. And you will burn yourself on that steam. Hey, they got Rice Krispie treats, double doozy chocolate chip cookies, regular chocolate chip cookies, cakes in a cup, chili, potato soup, you name it. Great atmosphere. They have bands on Thursday nights. Come see them at Mama Goldberg's for a hot steam sandwich, Wally. I can tell you. Troy, Alabama. Come see them. Moving on up to the big time. What's going on, Monopoly man?
Oh man, Neal, I have
You got money going everywhere.
I have bought up every bit of Troy, Alabama, but I'm missing a few spots right down here. Who can I call?
Man, you need to call Toby and Dina Adams at the Alabama Real Estate Connection. They'll let you finish buying all of Troy and Pike County. They're the best agents in town. They will work the hardest to get you the best deal. Give them a call, 566-4765. I promise you, you won't be disappointed. Hey, they're dealing at the Alabama Real Estate.
Exciting and
All right, what is that?
The Love Boat, man. I used to watch that.
we're expecting
The Love Boat, man.
Man, that came. Hey, do you
They
remember
don't make
this?
shows like that
Hey,
anymore.
it
man.
was-
Are you kidding?
The Incredible Hulk came on, then the Love Boat,
How
and
do you
then
remember?
Dallas.
How do you remember?
Just remember, man. I mean, you didn't have Xboxes and stuff back then.
Dallas. Who shot JR?
Yeah, J.R. Union, man. That's pretty good. And then on Friday night was Dukes of Hazzard, and then
How do you remember,
Falcon Crest. Dude,
Crest.
that's what we used to do. Yeah, anybody watching this show
Well,
that's
I
our
don't
age,
remember. I don't remember that stuff, man.
Sunday night, Jeffersons, Alice.
Oh, man.
All right, let's get back to the show.
Mel, kiss my grits.
Kiss my grits. That was an Alabama girl, man. She was
I
fun.
know.
You know, I saw her here in Troy one day.
Really?
Yeah.
That waitress.
Yeah, she
From
was.
Mel's Diner.
From Mel's Diner.
What was she doing in Troy?
She was teaching a,
You're lying.
I swear on myself, she was I tell you,
Did you tell her to say
Dr.
kiss?
Dye.
Did you tell her to say kiss my grits?
No, I didn't. Dr. Dye got her here. They were doing, it was the Pied Pipers or something. She was teaching an acting class. Dr. Phil Kelly, they all got her here.
man.
She stayed here for like 2 weeks.
Unbelievable. Texas Tech beat Gonzaga.
Kiss my
Can't
grits.
get my Texas Tech beat Gonzaga 75-69. Wally, please tell me now Texas Tech's in the Final Four as well. Did you see the Gonzaga player get the technical foul?
I did. We was on the boat when I saw it.
Unbelievable, man. They were trying to do an inbound play, and the Texas Tech,
Stuck his-
the Gonzaga guy got so excited, he stuck his hand over and just knocked the ball out of him. It was a technical. It was a 2-point game. When it was 30 seconds left, a 2-point game. That game could have went to overtime.
When did that rule come out? Man, I
Oh,
always
that's-
stuck my hand out.
No, you can't. Yeah, but you can do a little bit of over the plane, but you can't foul the guy and try to get the ball from him. That's a technical foul. Anyway, Michelle said Fantasy Island came on right after Love Boat. That you were wrong. The plane. Anyway, yeah, man, he got a technical foul. It was a 2-point game with 30 seconds left. That ball game could have went to overtime, or Gonzaga might could have won it the way that guy was shooting threes. But they got a technical foul, made the free throws, and they got the ball after the free throw. And it was over. It was over. But I just couldn't believe, man, that it kind of reminded me of Chris Webber calling the timeout back about 10, 12 years ago with Michigan, maybe 20 years ago with Michigan. Michigan had the Fab Five. Chris Webber tried to call a timeout and cost Michigan the national championship. They didn't have any timeouts, and it was a technical foul, and it really messed Michigan up. It kind of reminded me of that, because Gonzaga, they were either going to put that game into overtime or win it with a 3. It was too close of a game to get a technical foul with 30
Hey, where is Gonzaga? Is that like in California somewhere?
I don't know. Hold on just a second. Where is Gonzaga?
Here's Gonzaga, the Philippines.
The Philippines.
Hold on. Where is Gonzaga University?
Okay, here's what I found.
Let's see. Spokane, Washington.
Washington? I thought
State of Washington. Not in Seattle, it's in Spokane. They can play some basketball up there, I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
That's like 5 years in a row they were in the way deep in the tournament.
Why couldn't Alabama go after that coach?
I don't know, man. Why not? I don't know. I don't know. They got the Buffalo coach. Psh, big splash. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I knew
Virginia,
that was coming.
Virginia. Hey, that was a layup, man. Come on.
All right.
Virginia beats Purdue in overtime. And I'll tell you what, man. Virginia and Purdue, that was two really, really good basketball teams. I hated to see anybody lose that game. But Virginia and Purdue, and I'm going to tell you what, did you see number 3, that Carson Edwards?
Goodness, man. Me and James watched that game. Incredible.
Oh, my gracious, Wally Lowry. Purdue may have lost that game, but that kid put on a clinic for the Boilermakers, man. His NBA stock went through the roof, man. He didn't have no help, man. Wally, he was shooting when he come across half court, he was getting prepared to shoot. I'm telling you, he made 10 3-pointers in that game. 10. Count them. Some people don't make 10 3-pointers in a whole season.
One time I told James, I said, did he just shoot that half court? I mean, he got the ball.
I swear. Let me just call out some scores. These are some players from the scoring list for Purdue. Their center, Mr. Harms, had 6 points. Their guard, Mr. Klein, had 7 points. Their other guard, Mr. Eastern, had 7 points. And this is their bench points. One player had 5 points, one player had 4 points, and another player had 4 points. Carson Edwards had 42. The dude couldn't be stopped.
Man,
they knew. Virginia knew who was going to shoot the ball. Yeah. And they ran him further and further away from the 3-point line. He just kept on hitting.
Man, you talking about a kid that played with heart,
man. That
unbelievable.
But his NBA stock had to went through the roof right there, man. That was that was 2 really good, really good basketball teams. Also, earlier in the weekend, let's say that Michigan State eliminated LSU, and Michigan State is now going to the Final Four. They have beat Duke just a few minutes ago, 68-67. They said it was an incredible finish. But Michigan State eliminated LSU 80-63. Duke snuck by Virginia Tech. And did you see the last play in the Virginia Tech Duke game? Duke been sneaking by all this whole tournament anyway. They had an inbounds play, and they did a little pick and roll, and the guy, they did an alley-oop, Virginia Tech did, and the guy just caught it and just tried to dump it in there and missed. When right at the buzzer. So Duke was sneaking by anyway. But and also earlier this weekend, Kentucky had beat the Houston Cougars. So now we got the Final Four is set. Texas Tech will play Michigan State, and Auburn will play Virginia. And you've already predicted Auburn's going to beat Virginia. And you're predicting that Auburn will play for the national championship. Who are they going to play, Wally? Texas Tech or Michigan State?
Man, Texas.
Virginia's the only #1 seed left.
Dude, Texas Tech. Those kids, it's like the Carson guy from Purdue. Mm-hmm. Every one of those kids on Texas Tech, man, they play hard.
Man, they got that guy from Italy, man. That guy's good. That foreigner. Woo, he can light it up.
It's going to be good. And I'm so proud there's an SEC team.
I am too. And not because it's Auburn, but there is an SEC team in the Final Four, and that was guaranteed because Auburn was playing Kentucky. But it happened. Hey, we got to mention our Preston's March Madness Pick'em contest.
Oh, yeah.
And, David, if you'll put up the leaders, Taylor Cox Jenwright is no longer leading. She's now in second place. And I'm going to tell you, before the Duke was final, before Duke got beat by Michigan State, Taylor was still in first place. So as of about 15 minutes ago, Taylor has now dropped to second place.
Taylor is an Auburn grad, and she didn't even have Auburn to the Final Four.
Well, you got to pick. Who would? Nobody had Auburn.
Well, Dog Doc.
I guarantee you, Dog Doc did.
Hey,
that's code for Dr. Steve Barron, one of our. He's a Auburn graduate, a Charles Harrison graduate, and also one of our sponsors with the Pet Hospital and Resort, Southern Animal Pet Hospital and Resort. Dr. Steve Barron. That was him in third place right there.
If Auburn wins
it, he told me that about a couple weeks ago. He said, "Hey, as far as Auburn keeps winning, I might can win the thing." But you got a $25 gift certificate to Preston Steakhouse for the winner of the Pick'em contest. And let me go ahead and report on Bulldog Johnny. He's in 22nd place. You sound like the Really Rottens. Is that what you doing, the Really Rottens? He's in 22nd. But I can't make fun of Bulldog Johnny because I'm behind. I'm a game behind him.
Heck, I'm so low, you don't even have me listed on the scout report.
Man, I'm in the middle of the pack. Look, early games just killed me, man. UC Urban beating Kansas State. Are you kidding me? Mississippi State got beat. Cincinnati got beat. Marquette got beat. Heck, I had Syracuse winning 2 games. They didn't even get out of the first bracket. And I had Duke winning it all. Now they're out. I mean, I'm no good at it. I'm no good at it. I can pick football games all day long, but when it comes to this bracket thing, I'm always in the bottom half. Michelle beats me every year.
Did I see something yesterday on Facebook where there is one person in the United States that's got a perfect bracket?
Not anymore. I don't know that he still does, but there was a guy. Like in the round of 16, he was perfect, which was astronomical. Astronomical. But I haven't seen anything since, so he must have lost the game. You know, if it was still perfect, he'd be the number one story in the nation if he was still perfect.
Taylor Jenright, the first, she didn't miss a daggum game. That's why I put on there the flux capacitor.
I know.
I figured she went.
Yeah. But anyway, I had Syracuse winning 2 games and Duke winning it all. I'm just like I said, Michelle beats me every year. Every year she beats her, and my mother-in-law, Miss Diane Porter, beats me every year. Every year. We're up against a hard break. We'll take another break, and we'll be right back.
Wally, what are you doing in that Mustang GT 350 out here at Pike County Ford?
Man, I'm about to buy this sweet ride and hit 231 and put my fuzz buster on there, bro.
And you're going to need a fuzz buster in that thing. Is that a 5-speed manual shift?
Yeah, it is. 5-speed like a race car, man.
Sweet ride. Look at the clutch, everything, man. Hey, up to $5,000 more than Kelly Blue Book value on your trade-in. Come see them at Pike County Ford. They're dealing. Good morning, everybody. This is Neal from Sports Chat with Neal and Wally. It's time for my morning biscuit. I want you to look how big that biscuit is. I'm going to put this butter on that biscuit. Came from the Pig Cafe out on North 3 Notch. Go see Yanni. Get you a real biscuit. Hey, Wally. Hey, what you got there?
Where'd you get that biscuit at?
This is Pig Cafe on North 3 Notch. Where'd you get that?
Oh, man, 231, one of those big box chain stores out there.
Man,
they even got a paper straw.
Man, look at the size of that little thing. Look at it. I'm about to put butter on this. It's 3 times the size of that.
I should have gone see Yanni.
Go to the Pig Cafe on North 3 Notch or call them for catering, 334-770-0134. Get a real biscuit.
Don't want a wimpy biscuit.
Wally, what you got there?
Hey, man, I'm fishing for sharks, dude.
Cane pole and wigglers?
Oh, heck yeah, man. When you wear deep south apparel,
you look good, you feel good, you can fish good. Well, I got on deep south
apparel.
What you got?
I got a big shark. Could be Charles's cousin.
With a cane pole. Call Pete Van Horn, Deep South Apparel. Look for him on Facebook. Deep South Apparel. You might catch a shark. Wait a minute. Break? Broke. The shark broke the hook. We're going to get him next time. Wally, where you been, man?
Neal, I've been across the street
Good
over
Lord,
there.
what are you going to do with all that?
I was across the street over there. The line was out the door, man. And I saw the UPS store, so I thought I'd come in here and see if I
I'm
could
glad
get
you
the
came to the UPS store.
Let me help you with that.
Good, look at this, man. Can you help him mail all this?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Good.
Hey, everything for you.
Grade A customer service at the UPS store. Give them a call today, 566-9470. Don't go across the street. Go to the UPS store for all your copying, printing, and shipping needs. Wally, what are you doing at Roadmart on 231 in Troy, man? What are you doing with that tire?
Oh, Neal, I'm going to put some 25s on this bad boy.
Oh, Lord, 25?
Yeah.
They can make 25? They can do specialty rims at Roadmart here in Troy, Alabama. They also do brake work. They can change your oil, anything under the hood here at Roadmart on 231. And they can even get Wally some 25s for his mail. 566-3413, Roadmart on 231.
Remember that one?
Yes, sir. Elton John.
No, he's a one-hit wonder.
Elton John.
Kind of a reggae dude.
Eddie Rabbit.
Eddie Grant.
Eddie Grant.
Electric Avenue.
That was a good song.
What'd it do? Hey, high school baseball. Charles Henderson, 20-4. What a season they're having with Coach Matt Whidden. They're ranked 5th in Class 5A, which is, I think they need to be ranked better than that. They went to Fort Payne over the spring break. And I'm going to tell you what, Fort Payne's about as far as you can go in the northeast corner of Alabama.
You're right about that,
up there
bro.
between Georgia and Tennessee in the corner of Alabama. And they went 4-0 in that tournament. They beat Fife
12-6.
Sylvania
13-1.
Fort Payne
6-4.
and Cedar Bluff
12-3.
I mean that's putting on a show. Them boys from the southern part of the state went up there and showed them boys how to play some baseball. A little different spin for the spring break for Charles Henderson. They've been going to Gulf Shores and Orange Beach for spring break. This time they went north and came out on the winning side, 4-0. And, man, they're headed to the second half of the schedule on a high note. And I want to tell you, Fort Payne's up there near Scottsboro. What's famous about Scottsboro?
Unclaimed baggage.
Unclaimed
You've been there many a time.
I used to love to go to unclaimed baggage. That's where the airlines send the unclaimed baggage to Scottsboro. We were up there on the state car. We were stopping at the unclaimed baggage.
Unclaimed, yes, sir, man.
And also, little place up there amongst Scottsboro and Fort Payne by the name of Mentone.
Mentone, man.
What's the one thing that Mentone has that nobody else has in the state of Alabama?
A ski resort.
Not a resort.
Yeah, they got a golf course there.
But it's not a resort. It's just a ski hill. The one place you can snow ski. If you Google Alabama snow skiing, you're gonna get one hit, and it's Mentone, Alabama. If it gets cold enough, they'll send out emails all over and on Facebook and Twitter, say we're gonna make snow this weekend if it gets cold enough, and you can ski in Alabama at Mentone.
They got a little bitty ski lift.
Yes, and it's one of those pull ropes.
I know.
It's a pull rope where you go up the hill. That's pretty neat. What else is famous about Fort Payne, Alabama?
Hey, the group Alabama. I saw a lot of. I know Ellie Reeves. They posted a lot of pictures. Went by Owen's house.
Yep.
You talking about some guys that made millions and millions. They didn't go to California or Nashville. They stayed there in Fort Payne and lived their lives.
Sure did.
Donate to the community. Does just
excellent stuff. Another little tidbit about Fort Payne. That's the sock capital of the world.
I do.
Sock manufacturing in Fort Payne, Alabama.
I don't know if they got a lot of sock factories in.
But I'm talking about
in the past.
In the past, back in the 40s.
Probably because that supervisor run everybody out.
May have.
Textile.
All you textile people.
Yeah.
Anyway, getting on to that, all of a sudden, give us some more baseball.
Well, Neal, going back to Charles Henderson, they're going to play Northview tomorrow. They got on the road. Then they're going to start their region play, which is they're going to play Greenville one game, and then they're going to go Charles Henderson on Friday to play a doubleheader.
Okay.
I've already seen Greenville and Ozark play.
Ozark's pretty good.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
They're pretty good. Talking a little bit about the Wildcats.
Enterprise?
Yeah, they were in a tournament this past weekend. They lost to Archbishop 0-14, and they beat them in the second game 6-5. But hey, they beat Faith Academy.
Yep.
6-1, man. That's
a good victory.
That's a good victory. Yep. And then they lost to Central High Phoenix City 1-7.
Yep.
A little bit about Goshen. Goshen, on our scout report, they lost at Slocum this past week 6-7. But they're starting region play. They got Georgiana tomorrow, and then they get to go to Luverne, and then this weekend Monroe County High School.
Good deal.
Goshen. And let's talk just a little bit about the Pike Lib.
Yep.
They're in region play as well. They got Talk Academy coming up this week, and also Northside Methodist Academy.
Yep.
But a couple days ago, they beat Bessemer Academy 10-3, and they lost Bessemer Academy 3-2 during their double header there.
Yeah, Pike Lib still can win the whole thing.
Yeah, they can. You know, I talked to one of the players the other day, and they're down and then they're up, they're down and up, but they still got the talent, man.
Yeah,
Good gracious.
They sure do.
And then let me run something on Pike County High School, Neal. The other day they were playing Providence Christian, but it was canceled. But the last 3 games they have lost to Providence Christian and Abbeville High School.
They can get it turned around too.
Yep. And that's, you want me to talk just one thing about Carroll?
Yeah.
And of course, I went 2 weeks ago to that game.
Yeah, you were supposed to call it, and it got
canceled.
Yep.
Exactly. But they played. They're going to play Elba and Rehoboth this coming up week, and then Carroll will come to Charles Henderson next week.
Gotcha.
Week of the Masters.
Week of the Masters.
Well, right. No, week before the Masters.
Week before the Masters. That's a little bit of a softball update. Pike County, they lost to Pike Road last week, and they got a region play coming up with Daleville High School, and then they play Houston Academy on Thursday. So good luck to the Pike County Bulldogs girls. Also, the New Brockton Gamecocks. The softball team, and coached by a good buddy of mine, Wade Hussey, they lost to Laverne 13-3, and they got a spring break tournament coming up with Sampson and Geneva. So good luck to the New Brockton Gamecocks softball, Coach Wade Hussey. And this is Carroll High softball. They lost to on the 19th. They beat Greenville 11-10, which was an area game for them, the Carroll Eagles. And then they lost to Ayrton 11-4, and they got Greenville and Charles Henderson coming up this week. So good luck to the Carroll Eagles right there. This is Enterprise, the Wildcats softball team. They beat Opp 8-3. They lost to Prattville 6-2 last week, and the Auburn game got canceled, and they lost to Central out of Phoenix City 19-7. They were down at the Gulf Coast Classic this spring break. Didn't get the scores from that, but this week they're at GW Long Tuesday, and they're at Northview. Enterprise is at Northview on Thursday, and then they play here in Troy. They play at the Enterprise Recreational Complex in a tournament next weekend. And Ayrton, they kind of up and down as well. They beat Zion Chapel, they beat Carroll of Ozark, and then they win the spring break tournament. They beat Glencoe 7-2. They lost to Hoax Bluff 10-0. They beat Gaston 5-4, and they lost to Appalachian in Spring Garden. They got Laverne and the Purple Cat Invitational coming up this week for Ayrton. So good luck to those softball players. And Charles Henderson, they went down to the Gulf Coast Classic as well. But earlier they beat Strawn 7-0. They lost to Paxton 6-4. They lost to Rehoboth 9-0, and they beat Greenville 17-2. This week on Tuesday they're at Rehoboth, and then like I just said on the Carroll schedule, they got them Thursday, and then they play here in Troy at the Sportsplex on the weekend.
And we had a player of the week from Charleston.
Sure did. Sidney Garrett hit a mammoth home run down in Gulf Shores. And Sidney Garrett from the Lady Trojans is our Marco's Player of the Week, and she wins a one-topping large pizza from Marco's. So congratulations, Sidney Garrett of the Lady Trojans, daughter of Sonia Galloway and Terry Garrett. And she's been a long-time softball player, and she is our Marco's Player of the Week. So congratulations, Sidney Garrett of the Charles Henderson Lady Trojans. And one more, want to mention the Goshen softball team, and they're doing really well as well. But they did lose to Wicksburg 7-1 earlier, and they lost to Strawn 7-5. No, they beat Strawn 7-5. They lost to Laverne 12-10 over in Laverne. And this week coming up, they're at Brantley tomorrow. Then Tuesday they're in Goshen. They play Laverne again. And they got Strawn on Thursday. So good luck to the Goshen Eagles softball team as they get going. And also tell us about recreation.
Troy Recreation Department. Now, Ayrton started last week, but
Yeah.
Troy Recreation Department, baseball and softball start tomorrow night. Tomorrow night.
That's right.
So kiddos and parents, and I always want to say this, and I say this because our good friend Kevin Bryan is a referee and all that. But, hey, when y'all come to the park, you got to remember they're little kids, and the adults that are teaching these kids, they do this on a voluntary basis.
And I'm gonna say this too, the umpires and the officials of the soccer games and these are not professional umpires.
No, they're not.
They're not highly trained. Yeah, they had to take a little test, but they're not highly trained umpires. They're gonna make several mistakes.
Yeah. And if you are an avid sports goer like Neal and myself, you do show some courtesy. And I get hot-headed at times. I mean,
I do too.
And you do too. But just remember, those kids out there, they're out there because they love it.
That's right.
Not because Dad, they're on the wall of shame.
We'll take our last break. We'll be right back. Wrap this thing.
Dadgummit. Man, what's going
going on, Wally? What's wrong with that thing?
Oh, Neal, Dad, my gum, man. I can't cut grass. I can't have nothing anymore.
Is it broke? I mean,
I don't know.
What I chopped it all up over there.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. What I should have done was called Blake Turner with Turner Mowing at 334-465-0600, and I wouldn't be in this predicament
Look
right
at
here.
this. Best rates in town. Call Blake Turner. He'll give you a low quote. He'll give you the best job. Hey, Neal, what's going on, brother? What are you doing with that wood?
Oh, man, my neighbor's out of town, so I'm going to fire me up a barbecue pit right here.
Wait. I don't think this is a barbecue pit.
Yeah, it is a barbecue pit. I'm hungry, man, so I'm going to make some barbecue.
Haven't I told you, call Hooks Barbecue, 808-8008, for all your barbecue needs. Go through the drive-thru, get you some ribs, get you some barbecue. What are you doing at James Sparrow's house? This is not a barbecue.
I think it's a barbecue grill.
That is not a barbecue grill. All your cater needs when your family comes home, 808-8008, Hooks Barbecue. They'll handle all your barbecue needs. What you got, man?
Man,
What's wrong with this thing?
I done wrecked my kayak, man.
What'd you do, run into a weather buoy out there?
Yeah, I ran into one of those weather
Gulf?
buoys. Yeah, I sure did, man.
Unbelievable, man. What are we going to do? What are we going to do about all this?
I don't know, man. I got to go and see that lady.
Insurance?
Ma'am?
Insurance?
I don't have any insurance.
He should have went to Crease Insurance Agency out on 231 and got him some insurance. Now he's got to pay cash money for this kayak, doesn't he?
Yeah, he sure does.
Listen to the beach worker right here. He's got to pay cash for his kayaks. Visit Mike Crease, the Crease Agency, the only insurance agent you'll ever need.
Hey, Neal!
Man, you all right? What have you done now?
Man, I fell off the roof, man.
What are you stapling lights up there?
Yeah, man, I'm hurt bad this time.
You back?
Yeah, I might need a cane, man.
Oh my God, a scooter too?
Yeah, they got scooters at Jason Jones' place.
And call Jason Jones, the official oxygen of all Troy. Jason Jones at Jones Medical. Go see them, give them a call. They will hook you up with all injuries, everything. Wally, you fell off this ladder?
Yeah, I did.
Jason Jones, Jones Medical. That was some good banana pudding right there. Southern roots, man. That's some good food. Wally, what are you doing out there, man?
Yeah, I just ran 10 miles. Come get some of this banana pudding. Did you leave me some?
It's the best banana pudding we've ever had, man. Hey, Southern Roots, they're open Sunday through Friday for lunch. It'll be the best banana pudding you've ever had. Man, I'm glad you made it. How far did you walk?
10 miles.
Come all the way from Brundage?
Yeah.
Come on, let's go eat.
Yes, sir.
Man, you are on a Lionel Richie kick. You are on a Lionel Richie kick.
I love this Lionel Richie, man. You play that a lot. That's good. I love Lionel Richie too, man. Hey, truly. Let's move on to some college baseball. I'm going to give the rankings. Let's get the rankings are out in college baseball. UCLA's number 1, Mississippi State SEC school, number 2, Stanford number 3, Vandy SEC school, number 4, NC State 5, Georgia SEC school, 6th, Texas 7, Oregon State 8, North Carolina 10, and another SEC school, Arkansas number 10. That's 4 SEC schools in the top 10 in baseball. Auburn gets a mention there. Coming in at number 18, Alabama is not ranked. What do you think? Incredible.
Now the softball is.
How can Alabama not be ranked in baseball? That just blows me away.
Well, the softball's ranked number 1, aren't they?
No, let me tell you. I got the
undefeated.
soft. No, they're not. They lost the game.
Oh,
Texas A&M beat them the
I
other
must
day.
have been on the boat. What happened?
Alabama's 33-1. The softball rankings, UCLA, also number 1 in baseball, number 1 in softball. UCLA's got it going on in baseball and softball.
Oh, they playing somebody else.
Oklahoma's number 2. UCLA is 27-1. Oklahoma's number 2. They're 29-2. Florida State, defending national champs, 32-3.
They ain't played nobody.
I'm just giving you the rankings. I ain't telling you who they play. Alabama, SEC school, number 4 at 33-1. Tennessee, number 5 at 26-5. Florida, number 6 at 27-6. Washington, LSU's number 8 at 28-6. Texas, Louisiana, Arizona, Georgia comes in at 12, 25-9. Arkansas comes in at 13. Auburn comes in at 28-5 at number 14. So Auburn, Alabama, a lot of SEC teams in the top 15 right there, and Troy baseball's 13-3. I'm sorry, they're 13-13. They're at the 500 mark. They've won 3 in a row, including 2 huge wins over the Raging Cajuns this weekend. Don't know how they did today. I need to check on that. Chase Smart, local product, got the walk-off sack fly Friday night. So good job, Chase Smart, getting the job done right there. Troy plays Tuscaloosa. They play Alabama this Tuesday up in Tuscaloosa, and then they got a 3-game weekend set with Texas State. Alabama and Auburn doing good in baseball as well. Alabama beat Auburn last Tuesday at the Max Credit Union Special in Montgomery, so good job there. We appreciate you checking in with us tonight. We'll see you next Sunday night. Thank you.